Hello, how are you? My name's Dan Lahane, and for one reason or another, we weren't able to meet together. So I wanted to just record a real quick video to kind of give you an overview of what we do. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. I'm not sure how many words a video is worth, but I thought it would be helpful to just give you a high overview of what it is that we do. So, Globe Life Family Heritage Division is a supplemental health insurance company. From this point forward, I'm going to refer to them as just Family Heritage. But so what they do is they actually pay money directly to you if you have to go through something catastrophic. So something like cancer, a heart attack, a stroke, a major accident, COVID-19, or something catastrophic. Now, everybody, for the most part, has regular health insurance, major medical health insurance, that's designed to pay the doctors, the hospitals, and the medical charges should something like that occur. The problem, though, is that when something catastrophic happens, something like cancer or an accident or one of the others, there can be a lot of other expenses that our health insurance won't cover. And it can really be anything, but most often what we see is one of the big ones is not being able to work, or could be lost income. It could be deductibles, co-payments, travel expenses, and on and on and on. So that's what Family Heritage does, is they'll send the money directly to you or to your family so that you can take care of those indirect expenses. Now, Family Heritage focuses on four main products. Uh, our lead product is our cancer product, but we also have a heart attack and stroke policy, uh, accident or injury policy, and an intensive care policy. Today, I'm just going to real quickly focus on the cancer policy. That's our lead product. The reason we typically lead with that one is because of two reasons. Number one, it seems to affect a lot of people. And number two, cancer is very expensive. It's the most expensive disease. I'm not saying that heart attacks and strokes aren't expensive also, or accidents, but I think the reason why it's so much more expensive is because it can last such a long time. You can have treatments for months, even years. Sometimes even when you beat it, sometimes it will come back. So, but every single one of our policies works exactly the same way. The money's paid directly to you for you to decide on how you need to spend it. So I'm going to focus on the cancer policy, and all of the stats that I'm going to read to you come from the American Cancer Society. So the American Cancer Society, excuse me, says that cancer will occur in 3 out of every 4 families. Now, obviously, we hope that we're that fourth family and that cancer doesn't affect us, but cancer plays no favorites. In fact, what they say is that 1 out of every 2 men will get cancer, and 1 out of every 3 women will get cancer. With men, the most common is prostate cancer, but it's followed by lung, colon, and bladder. For women, the most common is breast cancer, and it's followed by lung, colon, and uterine. And believe it or not, cancer is the second leading cause of death in children, with the number one being leukemia, followed by brain tumors. But this year, the American Cancer Society says that there's going to be 1.6 million new cancer cases. 1.6 million people for the first time will hear that they have cancer. And some of those cancers, like breast, prostate, and ovarian, those can be hereditary. However, what the experts say is that 75% of the cancer cases they identify are not hereditary. They actually come from the environment. It's what we breathe, eat, drink, kind of where we work and where we live. So with all that going on, the good news is that more and more people survive cancer every day. Each year it gets better and better, but over 60% of that 1.6 million people will survive. So that's the good news. The bad news is it's really expensive to get cancer. Like we talked about earlier, they estimate that we'll spend over $226 billion fighting cancer in just 1 year. So the way that $226 billion is broken out is in 2 types of cost. The direct cost, which is the doctors, hospitals, and medical charges, that's what our health insurance is going to pay for. The problem, though, is that the larger expense, the indirect expense, what our health insurance is not going to cover is 123 billion or $20 billion more. And if your health insurance isn't going to pay for it, who's going to pay for it? That's right, it's going to come out of our pockets. So um, I want to go back one slide real quick. I apologize for that. So we've already kind of talked about what those expenses are, but it could really be anything. It could be deductibles, co-payments, lost income, travel, possibly childcare, and you name it. And so now, when you are diagnosed with cancer, the very first thing that happens is Family Heritage makes an initial payment. It's called the first occurrence benefit. And what you'll notice on this slide here is that there's two different levels of coverage that are represented. On the far right is the elite, which is the best coverage that we have. On the left is the preferred, which is one step down. And then we also have two others that aren't represented here called the standard and the base. They all cover the exact same things, it just pays different amounts. For example, on this first occurrence benefit, on the preferred, the one on the left, it pays $3,000, and then the elite pays $6,000. So as soon as you're diagnosed with cancer and you send in the pathology report, Family Heritage will direct deposit $6,000 into your checking account, or $3,000, depending on your level. For skin cancer, it's $1,200. Now, no matter what kind of cancer it is, with no lifetime limits, every single day you have to stay in the hospital, Family Heritage will pay $800 directly to you. So if you're there for 10 days, that's $8,000. But if you're there 100 days, it's $80,000. And it just keeps going and going and going. I'm not going to go through every benefit. You can read through the brochure. But surgery is $24,000. Radiation and chemotherapy treatment, that seems to be a very common way to treat cancer these days. So Family Heritage will pay you $480 for every single day of treatment that you have of radiation and or chemotherapy. Now remember, your health insurance company is paying the doctor for this radiation or chemo, right? This $480 is designed to pay for your groceries, or for your mortgage, or for whatever you want to pay it with. And each one of the benefits stacks on top of each other. This is the last benefit that I'll show you, and then I'll let you just read through the brochure. But did you know that where you're treated for cancer can play a huge role in the survival rate? Crazy, right? So MD Anderson is world renowned, and there's other places in Texas and throughout the United States that are just as renowned. But my question that I always like to ask people is, if you just had a 10% better chance of survival, or maybe it's the person that we love the most in this world just has a 10% better chance of survival, why wouldn't you just go to the very best? And what most people usually tell me is that it's because of logistics, right? You know, how are we going to get there? Where are we going to stay when we're there? And so what Family Heritage does is they'll actually pay $2,500 for a round trip airfare. They'll send the patient and then also a family member to go with them. Or if you drive, they'll pay 60 cents per mile. And then while you're there, they'll pay $200 a day for a hotel. Now, this benefit actually kicks in before treatment begins as well. You have up to 3 trips where Family Heritage will pay the $5,000 for both of you to fly up and back for 3 second opinions. So if you went on Google or one of the medical sites and you found a doctor at Johns Hopkins that's running a trial for a specific type of cancer that you might have, and that's the best chance, they'll let you go up there and interview or get a second opinion from that doctor up to 3 times before your treatment begins. Once treatment begins, there's no limit. You just keep going back and forth and back and forth. So probably what separates Family Heritage, and I shouldn't use probably, really what separates Family Heritage from everybody else in the market is this next benefit, and it's called our return of premium benefit. It's actually our cash value benefit, and it works in really 2 different ways. So one is when you're younger. So if you are 55 or younger when you enroll in our program, then you get 100% of your money back whenever you turn 65 or 25 years, whichever happens first. For example, if I were 30 when I signed up for this, then I would get all my money back when I turned 55. But if I was 55 when I signed up for it, then I get all my money back in 10 years. So there's three different scenarios that could happen. One is that let's just say over that time frame you put in $20,000 between now and the 25 years or at age 65, and you never needed to use it. Oh, by the way, that's what everybody's hoping for. No one buys this hoping they get to use it. But in that case, you get all $20,000 back. Now, it's okay to use it, right? Let's say you had something small like some skin cancer or something that you caught early and it wasn't too invasive or too intense. And we only sent you $5,000. Well, in that case, then you just get the difference back. You get $15,000 at age 65 or after 25 years. Now, if you really need it, and I've actually had a lot of customers that have really needed it, and let's say that you put in $20,000 and that we paid you $65,000. Well, you're not going to get any money back at that time, but you got to use the insurance when you needed it the most. And one of the really cool things about Family Heritage, they've been in business for over 30 years. They've never, ever raised a rate on an existing policyholder for any reason, not because of age, not because of claims, for any reason. And they've never canceled a policy on anyone. The only person that can ever cancel this is you. So that's the thing that really separates us from all the other companies in our space. Now, if you were to sign up when you're 56 or older, it's very similar the way it works. It's just that you're not getting the money back. All the money will go to your beneficiaries whenever you passed away. So I hope that helped. I just wanted to go over just a high level. Please feel free to take a look at the brochures. And if you have any questions at all, just call me. My phone number is 832-654-3997. Again, it's 832-654-3997. Have a great day.